Thank you so much. And here we have it, folks. MOUZ NXT, as they won the 9th round, will be starting their march on the city side. And the tougher task will be for Washington to try and figure out a way to pressure their opponents. Now, a little bit of history. Washington loves playing on Nuke. Back in the days, this used to be their strongest map for MOUZ NXT. They played quite a lot of Nuke, and here they come. Washington already on that A-bomb side. The Dolan is not paying off. Ayuk with only one. Mason covers up. Obdus has been spotted, but still finds ahead of Nasty to put us into a 3-on-3 with the smoke covering main. Bomb will be planted safely. There isn't a defuse kit in play, which means that essentially time will be of essence for MOUZ NXT if they want to go for the late retake. Giraffe pressures together hit with his teammate, and this pays off. A trade has been found though, which puts now him in vacancy into a defense. Bomb time, Decodian, full points of hell, but not any longer. Head secured. Obdus doesn't have a Kevlar, doesn't have a helmet, but has a USP and a hope that he can be quick. Pulls off the Doles, but all that Washington can do is just keep on hiding, keep on going, keep on winning as they secure the first pistol round. Yo, thank you guys so much for pressing the follow button. Ramanchan and the loot. Thank you so much. Just gonna mute those notifications. There we have it, folks. But it's an investment. It's a forced buy. We tend to see it on a map like Nuke. I think that there are certain maps in the competitive map pool like Dust 2, Nuke, Inferno that pretty much oblige you to invest after you've lost the pistol round on the CT side, but the pace is really quick and you can see that they're already down towards that lower side of the map. The Golden is in position to stop them. Extinct has taken quite a lot of damage. Nasty pressures with the MAC-10. Another rotation forced out from the CT side as Nasty keeps on going. Finally headshotted by Joey. Good job there by the CT side. Artist finds Zelex in the meantime. Giraffe, 61 points of health. Once again on that A-bomb side, will be able to get the bomb planted. And with Obdust and Joy being the last two guys standing in a 2-on-4, maybe there is a chance, but their positions are now known. I simply think that the better call will be for both of them to save. Quite a lot if you ask me. You can see the amount of nades, an upgraded pistol with a defuse kit and a MAC-10. You better have this one going into the next round, considering that the CT side has already run low on money. But Washington, in a typical British fashion, start off this round as quickly as they could, rushing their way through Squicky, pressuring. Well, they did some damage. It's in Galil giving us an upgrade. Quick 2-0. And we go again. I think that one of the biggest improvements which we have started seeing out of MOUZ NXT, especially here in Nuke, has been their CT side. And I know that I'm saying this after they've just lost the first two rounds. But if you follow them, if you have seen their official matches on HOTV, you're actually going to notice that day by day, they start fighting the proper pace. I'm super excited to see guys like Zelex, like Joey, Nicolian being together in a team, and seems like the same goes for Washington as they keep the pace really high, not hesitating, not really thinking whether they can trade anything, but being certain about the outcome. And now as they keep the pressure mounting, Molly, another bomb plan, but this time on that B-bomb side. Quick flash, Ayok realizes that he needs to take the fights, burns down to 26. But the Golden is the one who picks up a kill. Smoke given for stairs. They know that there is one player coming out from ramps somewhere. There is a defuse kit in play, which was saved from the previous one, so they can definitely try and go for it. Smoke is there. Nesty takes some damage, but Arstis covers. And with the Golden being the last guy standing, he will not get the Ninja defuse. Washington with a really solid 3-0 lead going into round number 4. Is this the same artist from that famous On a Pixel clip? I am not really sure which is the clip that you are referring to. I haven't watched it myself. But Artist is surely the guy that loves playing with Yob. Same goes for Ayok. Keep your eyes on how this duel develops. Be really interesting to see the dynamic. Zelex isn't gonna aggressive. Footsteps heard. Ayok with a miss. Breaks open the smoke, looks for another chance, and it's actually Mason the one who delivers the opener. Quite a lot of space secured early on by Washington towards outside. You can see that the presence is real solid, but the reaction not really there, at least for Nasty. Aok shuts him down. Same goes for Nicolian, who finds Giraffe. With Artis being low on points of health, this now creates a really weird dynamic where Washington is pretty much forced to actually fight, and they do so beautifully. Artis with another... Actually, excuse me, that's Mason is actually vacancy. Yeah, I got baited by those names in the HUD, because essentially the HUD doesn't really change the name on the kill feed. But good repositioning on the side of MOUZ NXT. You can see that they realize the danger and they know the positioning of those Washington players. They know that heaven is not theirs, and you better just reposition in a way where you block the main entry point. It could either be coming from ramp or from heaven. The only problematic space in the map right now for MOUZ NXT is tunnels, and seems like with Vacancy finding his second kill in the round, this means that essentially Joey and Nicolian will probably need to save, even though there is a chance. There is confirmation that Artis is low, but you cannot dodge the all bullet. Leaving Joey up for a clutch. 1-on-3, not impossible, but surely difficult. Doesn't have a defuse kit, which makes it even harder. In the moment that he peeks out, we'll find Extinct, which was the healthiest member of the remaining three. But Vacancy is too tall of a task. And this is a quick 4-0. You can see that now Washington has started catching fire. What's your favorite map, Dolan? My favorite map probably is Inferno. Even though I became a big fan of Anubis, I still feel like Inferno is, yeah, my favorite map. In terms of which is my favorite map to cast, now, I don't think that this is Inferno. I think that Inferno is almost a bit boring when it comes to casting it. Probably for casting, I would say... that's a tough one. I'll probably say Nuke. Because Nuke requires the most amount of tactical depth, especially on pro level. Nasty with a quick pre-fire, ready for Aok. Keeps on covering lobby. You can see that Vacancy is on top. Nicolian would not go any deeper than that. Not required, of course, not in a half by round. You essentially rely on creating a 3-man setup on that A-bomb side, even a 4-man setup if you want Zelix to be quickly rotating, which is currently not the case. And you're essentially hoping that Washington will be coming your way. Not the case, as you can see how patient they are. Just covering the main points. They know that they have quite a lot of util to work with. You start clearing out outside. Couple of flashes. You keep the push going. You essentially try and put yourself in a position where you minimize the risk of something going wrong. And this one could be... Oh, Dust is 5-7. Pressure is there. Nesty shuts him down. Joey is the next one who is going to be taking this contact. Good nade. Down to 63. One more for the backside. The deco actually pays off as Zelix pulled the attention away. And look at that. It's a 2-on-2. Extinct needs to find his kill. It was a must-win one, but the second does not go his way. Nicolian still with a chance. The Dane up for a clutch, up for a duo. Tries to save as much time as possible for his team. Artis tries baiting out the plan. Goes for it now. Nicolian comes closer and closer to win this one out. And to show how things are done with a pistol in hand, MOUZ NXT managed to grab it as they secure their first one on the CT side. Let me quickly do something. Why is this sample rate so low? Interesting. Yeah, I don't actually know what is happening. There we have it. Now it should be better. Interesting choice. Yeah, I mean, Nuke is really interesting. If you want to become a good caster, you need to go through quite a lot of nukes. And I say it clearly knowing that I've casted quite a lot of matches of this Washington roster. And of Nesty as well. Okay, Zelix. Quick HE. Extinct already makes its way makes his way, excuse me, towards that lower part of the map. Footsteps definitely heard. Now it becomes a game between a cat and a mouse. Alex, he needs to be really careful. The potential for a trade is there. Extinct doesn't know, now realizes and turns his back to check what is actually there. And the next one will be Obdust, covering that B-bomb side, has the support of AOC. A deadly combination for sure, and one that can create you a lot of problems if you're not careful. Washington tries slowing it down. They're currently relying on the amount of information that Giraffe and Artist are collecting. As Giraffe hasn't spotted any players pushing ramp, it surely needs to be an indication of the fact that it's either a stack or MOUZ NXT separated around the map. You can see that Nicodian has gone for a bit of a maneuver, trying to be the one gathering the important information because the map has been really black. Hope Dust will not grab another Artist cover. Sayok is dead, man. And with Nicodian now finding out that, yep, this angle was being covered, it's up to Joey. The Spaniard with hot blood will not be able to melt the ISIS, but Washington immediately goes back to winning ways. Not easy, Dota. Ramen-chan, thank you guys so much for pressing the follow button. Welcome. A really well played round. Seems like Washington has come into this one prepared. You saw the coordination between Artist and his teammate. Yeah, sure, they traded one in the process, but the fact that they have been covering for each other is what makes this so impressive. As now the pace is once again high. Joey doesn't manage to find a single kill. It's Giraffe with a double. And as Vacancy already found himself within the double digits with an AWP and an SMG still in play for MOUZ NXT. This has to be a save, another one. And just have a look at how convincingly Washington has been winning those rounds. Not even thinking about slowing the tempo down, instead pressing the pedal to the metal. And let's not forget that we're on one of the most city-sided maps that we have currently in the competitive map pool. Yeah, MOUZ NXT simply unable to find their pace. They're not really there with the trades. They're getting caught off guard by those really quick rounds from Artist, and so far so good. There we have it, the first tactical timeout finally being called. A discussion necessary, adjustments required. It's still not too late to pick things up and bring them back together. It will definitely require a better looking city side. I think that in some of the previous rounds, yeah, sure, it was the quick pace, it was the fact that Washington is consistently pressuring you, but in some of the other rounds, it has been just MOUZ NXT being unable to adapt to what Washington has tried doing. Hope is once again there. M4 available, several SMGs with quite a lot of util. And apart from Extinct, who is struggling individually, Nestle looking good tonight. Artist as well. Vacancy on top of the scoreboard. The same cannot really be said for MOUZ NXT. Quick molly. And again, Washington goes back to doing what they absolutely love, which is pressuring outside. Extinct looking for the fight, but gets caught by surprise. Alex somewhere there lost inside the smokes, but it's Vacancy finding him. And with this trade going over to Washington, they'll keep it going. Giraffe, though, loses out to Joey. Man advantage recovered. Deep smoke again out of Artist. This one is for Hell. The idea clear. Minimize the possibility of Obda seeing something. You have Garage. You have outside. You have Artist covering Secret with an AWP. Yeah, sure, MOUZ NXT with a numbers advantage, but this could still go really, really south if they're not careful. Obdust. Test it. Quick peek out of Vacancy. Steps heard. Let's see what Artist can do with the op. He's gonna be essential. Needs to come out quickly to find at least one to alleviate some of the pressure that Nasty and Vacancy are feeling right now. But they go straight into it, and they do so successfully. 2 kills found. Nasty is expecting for one to be coming out of HUD. This is Nicolian hiding there. Ayok is too far away from the action. There comes the peek. Insta headshot. Artist with a pistol manages to do the job. Helped out by Vacancy. And it's time for Ayok to shine. The Opa for MOUZ NXT, knowing that things have started going the wrong way, has spotted one. That's Vacancy. There is a defuse kit in play with quite a lot of youth, so that's Ayok's chance. One shot, one opportunity. Needs to go through Vacancy. Artist is low on points of health, so there is a wonderful opportunity for the youngster, but the no-scope doesn't land, and it will once again be Vacancy with his 40th kill of 4K to show how things are done. 7-1 Washington with a really solid-looking T-side. Yeah, this is so unfortunate, honestly, for MOUZ NXT. They finally looked good. It looked so promising the round, you know, with the trade, with the 4-on-3. But things just fell apart. And they will invest again with the hopes that this time around they finally get to something more than just a couple of kills. You can see it, Zelex gets caught. Artist once again covering in case somebody goes aggressive. Orb dust behind that smoke. Simply not on point. 2 guys on A, Obdust alone, Ayok responsible for covering outside. The cross has already been made. Extend, look at how deep he is currently inside Secret. Can just wait out, can just say to his teammates, okay, we have the extra real estate. Let's just slow it down. Let's just pause for a second. Let's see how aggressive MOUZ NXT will be. Giraffe is expecting this. The double push will not quite get it. Kill and a half found. And this is everything that Giraffe is hoping for. Now the rest of the squad doing it. Yo, Patrick, giving us a prediction in the chat, but it just feels really difficult for MOUZ NXT to find their footing on the CT side. And again, it's the exact same decision making from Washington. You take early outside control. You try and figure out a way to find an entry. You get the opener. And Nicolian says double, actually make it triple. Could be the saving grace. Finally a lifeline found, delivered by the Dane in the team. And Extinct with only 20 seconds. This surely feels impossible. Surely you not give this one away. Surely it cannot happen. Surely not like this. Not like this. MOUZ NXT. Extinct has found a way to open up that A-bomb side. And Ayok has just 17 points of health, but he has the moment of surprise now. Nate spotted, and the final bullet to the body will deliver us another one of those important clutches. And I say important because surely you don't know how to recover from this blow. Oh boy, that was... I don't know what even to say about this one. It's a rough one. It's one of those matches where just nothing goes your way. 20 seconds. A 1-on-3, sure. A couple of these targets low on points of health. Man, that's a deal breaker. Nicolian, though, still hasn't said, I give up. Opener found. Zelix holds his ground. And it's a 5-on-3 for MOUZ NXT. Something which we haven't seen since the beginning of this nuke. Giraffe and Nasty now put in a really difficult position. At least they have the bomb in their backpack, but defense looks solid. Still plenty of nades to work with if you're MOUZ NXT. 3 smokes, an incendiary, an HE, couple of flashes. Now the D's have given up their position. Obdust, as you can see, is covering. Molly for backside. Not really sure as to why not more MOUZ NXT players are rotating down, but Eric is in position. This needs to be an easy closer for MOUZ NXT's players. Joey confirms the presence of players down towards that B bomb side. Let's see whether at least Washington can get away with the bomb plan. I don't think so. Giraffe left all alone. First headshot found, but nothing more. MOUZ NXT with their second. But it's still a huge difference. And they will need to work hard if they want to come at least a little bit closer by the end of this first half. There is a positive at least, is that a lot of those rounds were quite expensive for Washington, and we can see the implications in their economy. Scout not an AWP. Nades lacking here and there. Sting keeps the push going. Oh, that's a molly. Sent straight on the feet of ESEA. Oh, he does not get caught. Artist will not know about it. That's a problem. That's a huge problem, especially now that Zelix delivers the opener. Extinct has absolutely no idea. Neither does his teammate. If ESEA is lucky, he can find a perfect timing and he can single-handedly win this one out. Let's see whether he goes for it or if he just keeps on waiting. At least for now, Washington again with the intention of splitting up the map. Obdust. Does he know? Yeah, now needs to check this one out. Extinct has spotted the Portuguese, the CT player, dancing around these bullets. I think is not enough. Here comes Ayok. And as he keeps the duels going, he will keep on losing those. Joey with the trade. For us to see a 2-on-2 Giraffe with an important one, living Nickelodeon all alone to once again try and lift the spirits up. First one goes his way. Needs one more. Knows where the Extinct was, at least. So this gives a bit of an idea that it could end up being a bomb plant for B. This will be the case. Extinct out of nades, but with a chance to hide somewhere. Nickelodeon wants to be quick. Extinct hears the footsteps and doesn't manage to find a headshot. Nickelodeon saves the day and delivers yet another for the CT side to make those 3. Is it a best of 3 virtual humanoid? No, it's a best of 1. Only one single map. Thank you so much for pressing the follow button together with OnIn26. Thank you guys so much. Hope that you're finding the stream useful and my cast good. Make sure to leave a follow, because as I said, we're essentially fighting for a chance to participate in ESEA Pro League next year. Think about how crazy this will be. Final round. Open play for MOUZ NXT. Not that much available for Washington. Couple of upgraded pistols with a Mac 10 and a single Kalashnikov. And seems like they want to test out Obdust. The Portuguese player in a good off angle. Keeps the spray going. Delivers nasty 8 bullets and an orb that is the defensive one. But actually, never mind. Your best choice when you are defensive is to be offensive. And Joey does that. Double kill found. Giraffe and Extinct will need to keep on going. Bomb site is theirs. Plant given. 2-on-3 defense now awaits for the T side. Defuse gets some play. Yuto available as well, but not a Hungarian player. Not anymore. Ayok and Obdust will need to be the heavy lifters. Will need to be the ones doing the job. They can go for the bodyguard system. Doors open. Kill found. Obdust deals with it. Giraffe, last man standing. They know where he's going to be coming out from. Ayok cannot hold on, but the defuse is there just in time. And in the end of the day, they at least managed to get something. It's still not enough. Not on one of the most city-sided maps, but having 4 is better than not having anything. Thank you. I'm really trying my best. This is, you know, something that I absolutely love, so I hope that the quality is good enough. As we go into the second pistol round, Washington now on usually the stronger of the two sides here on Nuke. Double pair of dualies available. Extinct in double digits. Vacancy currently on top of the scoreboard. And Nickelodeon has been doing a fantastic job, so we need to praise the young Dane for doing whatever he can. It seems like MOUZ NXT wants to use the exact same strategy that we saw out of Washington with A bit of a different touch, a bit of a different feel. The nades being available and the push is happening. The Dolan is not connecting. Zelix though connects with the Glock. Same goes for Optus. Quick 2 kills found. One guy hiding inside the smoke, but not any longer. And as Giraffe's position is known, we have 4 Almas hitting us with a follow. And MOUZ NXT hitting Washington quite heavily here in the beginning of their T side with a really well played round. I particularly love how they brought a lot of util and played this one together to bring them one step closer to what they want to secure, which is essentially a tie. Washington historically have had this really interesting trend of losing out after getting big advantages on the T side, or at least making their CT sides as close as possible. Olovek, 47, welcome to the Duckies. In comparison to what MOUZ NXT did, we're not going to see an investment. Just an eke around with a single upgraded pistol. Nothing crazy, nothing really extraordinary, just some pressure being applied. You group, you play together inside a certain part of the map. You allow for artists to explore the map, but Zelix heard him, so he was expecting for this peak to happen. This essentially confirms that it is just an eco. As MOUZ NXT is following their protocols. Now a bit of a maneuver, and the USPs will only find one. I can see last man standing, last defender between MOUZ and their 6th. There we have it, officialized on the scoreboard. So we go into the first proper full buy round, which we're going to be seeing. AK is brought online, M-Force as well. It's also quite interesting to see Nesty among the players. Because back in the days, you know, they used guys like Gizmi, like 360. Not a Polish player in particular, but I guess that Nesty is already quite experienced and he's looking to find his way towards the better echelons of Counter-Strike. As we have been pointing out, he has been playing quite a lot of tier 3, tier 2.5 Counter-Strike, and I think that a project like Washington is surely an interesting place to end up. Here comes MOUZ NXT, once again looking towards that A-bomb side. Again, a default play, you're prepping out the util. Nicodium finds a trade. Joy goes down, which might be a bit of a problem because there hasn't really been a clear entry point for MOUZ NXT, at least not in this round. So they need to reroute, they need to go for something different. When you cannot find the proper road, you ask, I guess, yeah, I'm probably an artificial intelligence software for an answer, but there simply hasn't been one in terms of how to stop artists. Unless Nicodian goes nuclear, which will not happen. This is Washington only sacrificing Giraffe in the process of securing their first proper full buy round on the CT side. Even though there's still some cash to work with for the youngsters, you can see that the loss bonus is only 1900, which is not really optimal. Still need to invest, but yeah, Tech 9 and Mac 10. Surely I hope that these will at least try to secure that bomb plant. Again, same play coming out from MOUZ NXT. It's been a bit one-dimensional, honestly, with nothing crazier than this successful spray through the smoke, but Joey has no idea how much he tagged vacancy. Well played on the side of the Spaniard. There comes the pair of cross smokes. MOUZ NXT, who are still looking to figure out what they're going to be doing up until the end of the round. I guess that they just want to use the time to see whether Washington will try and look for a response, will try and look for extra bits of information, but so far this has not been the case. There comes actually the peak, as I just said it. The caster curse right in front of your eyes lays Extinct to an opener. Now this pressures MOUZ NXT. This forces the T side into going towards that bigger bomb side. And Zelex needs something more. Delivers a second. Artis, the last defender, but not for long. Vacancy is low on points of fell. The surprising factor not really there. Giraffe isolated courtesy to the smoke. And thanks to their Hungarian rifler, MOUZ NXT is now in a really good position. I even think that Washington is thinking about a safe. Yeah. They'll just go back and have those M4s going into the next one. This is the safer call. Beautifully executed. Patience, the key to success, and Zelex as well. We need to highlight his role as the one capable of delivering the kills necessary to open up spaces. And as the bomb explodes, this looks to be another one of those really close matches. As I've been pointing out on some of the other streams, here on Dolan the Greatest's channel, we have a tendency of reaching the 24th round. And knowing Washington, having casted some of their matches previously, or rather in some of the previous seasons of ESEA Advanced when they played underneath the name of Alaska and Verdant, I can tell you for a matter of fact that at least 4 of the 5 players know what it feels like losing on the CT side. But of course MOUZ NXT will need to work its way if they want to secure a win. It's only week 3, a couple more weeks left. But let me remind you that oftentimes the difference between a team making it to the playoffs and being left out of those are the wins found in the early parts of the season. Yeah, sure, 14 matches overall. But you don't want to be giving away too many rounds, too many points, too many losses. Joey finds Extinct. Pace accelerates. Vacancy already looking for the spray. Transfer was not too far away from grabbing even something more. But look at what Nesty is doing, coming from behind his opponent's backs. Zelex feels a little bit lost, and the insta headshot is there for the polishment. Nicole and Obdust way too far away from the action, and soon Artis will reveal his hand successfully. Doesn't manage to dodge a bit more bullets, but the job and the damage have already been completed and dealt. Nicolian, 26, with a Kalashnikov, knows that he is surrounded, knows that both CT players are looking towards him. Double flash. Smoke on top of the bomb. One bullet that does not connect. Neither are those from Nasty and Giraffe. And in the end of the day, Washington will be the first team to enter double digits. And now again, money becomes a big issue. I think that if you are MOUZ NXT, probably you want to go for a save. Yeah, I think that honestly the better call was for them to actually be patient and not invest, because you have 1900 coming into your bank account in the next round. You had 3 players with somewhere around 3.5k, which will put you in a much better spot. Now essentially you're relying on getting the bomb planted. If this doesn't happen, this will be a golden opportunity to Washington. They are going to be resetting MOUZ NXT's economy. In any case, this will leave the youngsters with 2 options. Either save and hope for something more, or invest up until the end of the map. Giraffe with another. And as they drop down, it's a 3-on-5 for the remaining minute and 13 seconds. MOUZ has been getting way stronger lately, not talking about NXT. Yeah, well, I mean, in the end of the day, MOUZ has always been, or rather not always, but at least in the last 2 years, has been a really solid team, one of the best. MOUZ NXT also have been doing a good job in terms of getting better and better with each and every day. So it's a big pleasure to be able to watch those matches and follow up. Tox CS2, I've been using my HUD. This is how it is called, my HUD. Okay, quick nade, doesn't deal any damage. some ticks from the burns in the flames. And a kill found. MOUZ NXT stuck on that B bomb sign. Let's see whether they're gonna be able to at least get that bomb planted. Pretty nice HUD indeed. But who's gonna be giving us the thumbs up and the nice well-played round? Because there's still a chance that this goes wrong for both sides. Crossfire established. Flashes do not really pay off. Joel with a kill. Another one found by Zelix. Giraffe goes down. Nasty as well. As MOUZ NXT holds on. And that was a really well-played crossfire by the youngsters. You'll love to see it if you're a fan of the organization. And talking about economical problems, have a look at what the CT side is going to be playing with. Barely any dollars available. Loss bonus down to a minimum. And it's actually MOUZ NXT calling for a tactical timeout. Nickelodeon with a lovely T-side. Zelix as well. What an improvement. Remember that both Joey and Zelix were struggling on that T-side. On that CT side, excuse me. But the team has looked significantly different now that they're actually on, theoretically, the worst side. It will indeed be an eco. This is broken. Remember, I know that I keep on emphasizing about Washington's difficulties on this particular map to close out, to work with leads. But this has been a consistent trend in their gameplay here on Nuke. If you follow me on social media, you can find clips of artists, for example, clutching it out literally in round number 24. If you've been a constant viewer, you would know that Alaska was really going to distance on Nuke in particular in their CCT matches, in their ESEA advanced matches, and pretty much the majority of the tournaments. And, you know, I think that they just need to do something about it, because year after year, this has been their weak point. Now, simplified plays on that T side, accelerating, catching their opponents off guard. They are really good with covering for each other. But those struggles is what is going to make this game much more interesting for us to watch. As the bomb has already been planted. No casualties on the side of MOUZ NXT. And the difference will shrink down to just a single round. One round that separates MOUZ NXT from tying it up. And you know, I've been casting since season 46. And some of these players were there back in the days. I remember actually my very first match that I casted. Here's an interesting story from ESEA Advanced. Had Nasty among the players. Yeah, surely this brings memories. And Washington needs to avoid bringing back those soft memories that they had back in the days. As you can see, their economy has been hurt. So once again, even though they went for an eco, they cannot afford something better than those SMGs and the upgraded pistol that we're seeing in Artis' hands. Golden opportunity ahead of MOUZ NXT to reach double digits. Double molly. Nades thrown towards main. Artis down to 53. And now a dead man. Lobby crunch not really there. Barely any control. Giraffe left to try and figure out a solution to this massive, difficult, big equation that he's seeing right now. And I don't think that the answer will be giving over to him. It will not happen. Hope does, with now a positive KD difference and a tie, 10 to 10. Money back in the CT sites' bank accounts. And Eok back to utilizing the op. Incendiary. Jump out of Joey. Ooh, I absolutely love this. It's an interesting idea. Secondary smoke given. Now he can jump over and he can pressure outside. Artis is in a really good position to actually counter the Spaniard. There is a bit of a timing. Quick flash given. AG to break open the smoke. Zelex's shoulder, I do believe, was spotted. Pressure out of main. And it's Joey paying off with a double. The pace was really good out of the Spaniard. He keeps on going. He keeps on fighting. And he single-handedly opens up that a bomb side. Artis in desperation intent to find something more, but it will not be given. Not at least for free. MOUZ NXT have caught fire. As that D side is surely hot. 11 to 10. They take the lead. And once again, the economy is the big problem. Washington, what do? Do you invest fully? Or do you just save and go for a half buy? I think that half buying here is surely how you need to approach this round. Small investments. A light util. And a hope. And a hope that with your experience, with the fact that you have played so many more matches than this current iteration as MOUZ NXT, you're going to be able to catch them off guard. Goldian already delivers Nastisa's head. Sheer patience and the fact that MOUZ NXT realizes the dangers is what makes this team super exciting to watch. But Artis has been the one to hit as a response. Extinct down to 27. His position given up, head secure once again by Joey. 20th kill found by the Spaniard. A massive T-side demonstrated by the Iberian representative. Artis is the one who creates a lot of noise and problems. A giraffe with a gap. Oh, they don't know about it. They have no clue that he is there. And the Deagle could be put into some real good usage. Look at what is happening. Yeah, they will pressure ram. Joey though has absolutely no idea. Gets headshotted. And with Artis' triple, who looks to find another one, this will not happen. But is giving up some time for Opdust to try and figure this one out. 2 kills already on the tally. 1 more to be found. Against him is Giraffe. The bomb will get planted. The drop, I do believe, was not heard. But the footsteps now have given over the positioning. And Opdust will be saving the day with a 1-on-3 clutch to return the favor and to put MOUZ NXT on map and match point. Tactical timeout. First one taken by the Brits. And surely a conversation, a deep one required. Everyone has been doing a good job, honestly. Individually, you can see that the kills are equally distributed. But the turnaround, the different phase from MOUZ NXT has been insane. Banjville, welcome to the Duckies. Apart from Ayok, Joey has stepped up big time. Opdust as well. Nicolian, we talked about him. He was the only guy that was keeping up to Washington's space on the CT side and has slowed down for a single second since they moved on to the T side. Zelex as well. Incremental with some of the opening kills and trays that he has found for the squad. Smokes lined up. See when he decides to use those. 1, 2, and the third. Cross smokes given. Extinct will have 0 visibility, so he's essentially relying on Giraffe. Coordination required between the two. Extinct now has been spotted. MOUZ NXT looking to jump on top of his head. The CT player has found some cover up, but outside control secured again by MOUZ NXT. They know about the Heaven player. They know about the main player. They need to be careful. Artis strikes first with the op. Strong 3-man setup for Washington. Extinct, though, that's a big mistake. But it's vacancy covering for him. Artis will get another. It seems like it will not end here. We will go all the way. Again, the tendency on Dolan the Greatest stream is still there. 24 rounds will be required for us to know whether MOUZ NXT will be stealing it away or whether Washington will survive. Unless Optus has something to say about it. 27 seconds. Has the bomb. Has an empty bomb site to work with. Not any longer though. Time is running away. Can even think about saving up the Kalashnikov. You open up single. We'll clear some of those angles. Oh, artist. With sound, bomb plant given, extra cash secured. But in the end of the day, 11 will appear for Washington. And what better to do on a Wednesday evening than watching MOUZ NXT and Washington fight it out here in ESEA Advanced. You'll love to see it. Another close affair. Another one of those banger matches. I promised you a good one, and you get a good one. Round number 24. Let's see. Quick check. Kalashnikov's available. Not enough money for the knob though. Artis has this one. So we shall keep our eyes on how he utilizes it. So far has been exceptional with pressuring MOUZ NXT, with stopping them in their tracks. But it's either a win or an OT. You can see a really wide defensive setup on Washington's side. Heavier focus towards A. They're expecting for MOUZ NXT to be going down to the basics, to be going back to what was working for them. Quick flash is given. Here they come. Yuto deploy. Nesty with the opener. Giraffe adds another. Extinct with a third. Nickelodeon will not find it. And we will go to OT, ladies and gents, as it is a near flawless round. Washington have not given up. MOUZ NXT cannot close down. And we reset. We pretend that it was never meant to be. It never happened. And it feels like a 0-0 start because this nuke surely delivers. Tell me, are you not entertained? Be honest in the chat. So I'm surely entertained. Okay, again. Early top HUD molly. Cross smokes given. One for main as well. The idea looks clear. MOUZ NXT want to split the map. They have been doing this on so many occasions. Hope is ready to give the util. This just feels like a split for A, honestly. With Nickelodeon sending insights quickly. Molly given for Ninja. You know that nobody could be there. But it's all just some fake noise. This time around, it will not be the full commitment. Washington knows that there was a player on rooftop throwing the ult and one sending insights quickly, but they have absolutely no clue about the crosses. About the fact that several guys are already really close towards that B-bomb site. Timing is everything. Artist feels it in his veins that people are going to be pressuring ramp, but it will come down to the timing. He goes for it! And that was the big mistake. Nickelodeon manages to get the punish. Vacancy 56, Nesty 79, and it's a 4-on-3. Now make it a 3-on-4. Still in favor of the T side as MOUZ NXT keeps the pressure mounting. Optus with a good kill. And I think that this feels like a done deal, honestly. How do you even go inside that B-bomb site? Just feels inevitable that Vacancy and Nesty will either need to A, save, or B, just sacrifice themselves to the cause. One headshot good. Zelex shuts Vacancy down. Nasty is running out of time, out of bullets. Zelex's double will seal the deal. 13 for the young MOUZ. Let's repeat as we go again. Yo, Lil Kexi. Welcome. Okay, nice different touch in the previous round from MOUZ NXT. Changing up the strategy a little. They will push through the flames. Interesting decision. A quick 2, make it 3, make it 4. Found by Washington, and as Dust fails, it's a quick 13-13. Wow. Yeah, that was a really interesting call. I was not expecting for MOUZ NXT to go so quickly through those flames. Surely a mistake, knowing that Washington has been prioritizing defending that A-bomb site. But nonetheless, sometimes the idea is to try and catch your opponents off guard. Something that MOUZ NXT tried, and they failed. However, plenty of cash remain. Final round of the first part of OT number 1. Hope is aggressive. Artis will eat an 8. Seems like the focus has changed. Flashes, HE to break open the smoke. Nobody covering ramp. You can see that Giraffe is in a different part of the map. Calls out for some extra help. Extinct has gone down to Zelex. Once again, it's the Hungarian delivering the opener. Another one found, this time by Aok. Aok has been having a really quiet game so far, and it's good to see him deliver a kill. Artis and Nesty will need to play for it, and this is definitely not the good way to do it. MOUZ NXT take 2 on the T side as we switch. Yeah, I feel like the majority of Washington's problems have come from not being able to defend ramp and that B-bomb side. They have been struggling. Let's not forget that it was Washington having a 6-1 lead on the T side. So maybe they can pull something out from their sleeve. Let's see what the strategy is going to be. Artis on top of Saiwu. Seems, at least for now, that they're going to be going for a really slow approach. Nothing like those A rushes that we were seeing in the beginning of Nuke. Artis still on 18, has kind of slowed down. Nesty as well. Comes the smoke, the push as well. Oh, Extinct actually failed the jump. That's a bit of a problem as he still gets towards main. Joy in a safe space. I think that he can actually escape. Yeah, because there is a bit of a gap that he works with. Here comes the push. Aok will land a quick shot. Extinct has found Dust, which brings us into a situation where Washington enters that B-bomb side with a numbers advantage, but not for long. Nickelodeon joins the party. 3 on 3. Bomb will get planted. Aok. One shot that he needs to find, but it's Giraffe being quicker to pull the trigger off. Nickelodeon, bit too far away from the action. Important seconds wasted. The Dane, though, makes up for it with a wonderful double to put Vacancy up for a clutch. One delivered. One-on-one situation ahead of the Iberian player, and the Spaniard will deliver it to put MOUZ NXT with 15 and give them 2 more chances. They had this exact number of opportunities in regulation, but now they're on the CT side. Now they're on the much more comfortable part of the map. As Washington, can they do it again? Can they force another ulti? They will need to sweat for it. But it's never done until it's actually over, as I like saying. Uzi Tap, welcome to the Duckies. Thank you so much, guys, for pressing the follow button. I really appreciate the support. Okay, early AU tilt. Sting covers the left extremity, but look at Zelex. Oh, this is so sneaky. I don't think that they know about it. Oh, they have no clue. Zelex can find a really important timing. I do believe that Washington have an idea, but they're definitely not checking out on the corner. Dust with 1 to deliver the numbers advantage. Giraffe His pace is good. Nickelodeon escapes at least for now. Giraffe has been spotted. So A side control officially lost. Artist down to 18. This starts looking rougher and rougher. Someone will need to be the hero, not Giraffe. It has to be Nasty. It has to be the Polish player within that Washington lineup. Combining with Artist, who is low. Bomb cannot get planted, at least not that easily. And MOUZ NXT, they're ready to seal this one unless Nasty gets the ace. He's so close, 1 kill away, but that nade will not actually shut him down. 1 point of health. A single bullet will do the job as Joey will show how things are done. MOUZ NXT with a really hard-fought win, 16-13 against Washington, who made them sweat, but in the end, that was not enough. As the youngsters get it, they get themselves over the finish line.